really matters.
Please introduce those bookers to me.
They are. It used to be like the pretty girl, woman. What are you? What do you prefer?
Either.
Okay. Yeah. Muchacha. That she had to be extra funny to do it. She had to really be funny because the bookers were like, well, the women won't like it if she's pretty and funny. It's a whole thing. Okay. It has actually gotten easier. You rarely now will see six dudes, six dudes on a main comedy stage. There's usually a couple women. So that is a huge break for you as you work your way through the comedy world. I'm sure you're very funny on the stage. So have you had a guy who you saw online or hadn't quite gone on a date yet or gone out once show up at one of your shows?
I actually had a stalker.
See how flattered you are by that?
I love the attention, but I just wish he was better looking.
See?
Like, I want to have a stalker I'm attracted to.
You can't have everything.
Yeah, like my friend Jessica.
Yeah.
She told us that she was scared because her stalker was getting out of jail. And she showed us a picture, and I was like, ooh, he's cute. Felon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, do you think he needs a ride home or a place to stay?
What was he in jail for?
For stalking her.
Oh, so he was...
Yeah, like he was actually...
If you're in jail for stalking her, are you a good stalker or a bad stalker?
Exactly. He's a good stalker. My stalker quit on me. Like all of a sudden, like he was not even like following me anywhere.
Is a good stalker somebody who doesn't know you're stalking, or is the good stalker... Is it persistence? What makes a good stalker?
Okay, a stalker... Okay, I spoke with my attorney, and my attorney told me that stalking means that they escalate. So they start showing up, then they start calling you, then they show up at your door.
But if he just showed up at every comedy show, is that a stalker?
Mine de-escalated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like all of a sudden, he's not even following me. I think he was following someone else. I think he was following someone else.
Yeah,
yes.
You're like,
what does she have?
That's my stalker.
What does she have that I don't?
I know, but have you performed for somebody? I mean, performed on a stage for somebody that you're dating? Has that happened yet? Where you're like, come to my show, and then do you feel pressure to be funny?
Yes, of course. I'm embarrassed. Like if people are not going to laugh, I'm going to feel bad.
Sometimes it's just the audience, though. Sometimes you just get a weird.
Oh yeah, it's the audience.
Every time we play a lot of comedy club. It's never me. It's them.
Never me.
Yeah, because that takes a while too. You have to go through as you go through. Your dozens of gigs. Sometimes you just get a weird audience. Sometimes you play a club in New York City and they just don't speak English well enough. They were just like got a flyer and came and they sit there and they don't understand any of it.
Right.
I gave a talk at Amazon in their corporate a couple weeks ago. I'm convinced that not one person there spoke English.
So what happened? Did they?
It might have been me. Well, they didn't do anything. They didn't react in any way. So not to judge, from the looks of things, they were mostly a Latin and Asian audience. There's a small chance that I was just terrible and boring and whatever. But
I always blame myself. I'm like, I wasn't good enough. Good enough.
Blame them. It's not your fault they have bad taste. Always blame them.
Yes, I like that.
What made you? How old were you when you're like, you know what? I want
in a relationship, I always blame the guy.
Are you one of those girls that anything that if it's an uncomfortable situation, you'll start to make jokes? Like if you're scared, do you try and laugh, or like a guy's trying to get serious and that gets uncomfortable?
I deflect. Yes,
you do.
Yeah,
so you start making wisecracks.
I deflect. Yeah,
that's really hard for us.
That is hard for us. Give me an example. Give me an example.
It's like,
I'm feeling.
It's like I've been feeling things I haven't felt before, and you'd be like, "Does it itch?"
Okay,
if you
so you say, I'm just saying I'm starting to have feelings for you.
You want to see a doctor for that? Right. So you would just diffuse a moment by making a wisecrack. Guys do that too.
Yes, guys, I was going to tell you. Yeah. I think guys do that. Yes.
Right. Do you do that because your default is to try and be funny?
I notice that sometimes I do that, yes.
During intimate moments, do you make jokes or can you shut it off?
I'm kind of normally joking, except when I get angry. But sometimes... Like I dated this guy and I would get really, really angry. And then inside I would start like laughing inside. It was weird. And then I would like start like this. Look, like I'm making kind of like a smile. I would be like, and I'm like, he's going to think I'm not taking him seriously. Yeah. It looks like a spasm because I was trying to, I'm like.
What made you decide to did you get on a comedy stage when you were married?
Did I get a what?
Did you get on a comedy stage when you were married? Were you doing it then?
Yes, so I did comedy when I was married, and then my ex-husband didn't want me to do comedy, so I stopped.
Why did he not want you to do comedy?
He just said, you need to focus on being a wife and a mother.
Well, you weren't cooking and cleaning. You might as well crack jokes.
Yes. No, I was cooking and cleaning then.
Okay.
And so he's like, you need to do it better, more time. And then I stopped. And then right when I because he told me he wanted to get a divorce. So in the moment when he told me, I went into the guest room and maybe a week later, I started doing comedy.
And how much of the jokes were about him?
I have a little part about divorce, but I don't really. It's almost like I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of myself in the divorce.
So, but part of you,
what was that,
part of you though is that's liberating. Like you get divorced, and then there's this comedy part, or it could be a creative part. I mean, there's a lot of things that being in a marriage, for whatever reason, logistical, parenting, work, prevent people from exploring, almost having like a second act. And so people always look at, well, divorce is an opportunity to date again. It's an opportunity to do a whole lot of things differently again.
Oh, but when I was getting a divorce, I did not want to date. I'm like, I'm going to be on my own. This is really hard. And like being in a relationship is too hard.
Right. Because you just came out of a relationship that was hard.
Yes. And then the way that it happened when I dated that guy is because we were friends. We were friends for a long time. Like we were friends for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like friends, just friends. And that was really nice. And then it turned into something.
And then he said, I've always liked you. Was it one of those? Was it awkward like that? And then
it wasn't
you made a joke?
Awkward. It was actually lovely.
All right. What dating profile are you on now? What is, can you say? Which one are you using?
Dating. Yes, I am on Match.com.
Are you? What year is this? Is that still a thing?
Yeah. Match.com and Bumble.
Oh, and Bumble.
Yes.
Now, Bumble, you have to say the first thing. You have to make the first move.
Yes.
Do you have an opening line that you use?
I just say hi.
Yeah, we hate that.
You hate that?
Because all you're doing is sticking your foot in the door and stopping the clock by saying hi.
Yes, I'm just, Well, okay, do you prefer that we don't stick the foot in the door?
No,
I don't. What you prefer?
I don't really care what you do, but hi is the equivalent. The women all hate on the other ones, Tinder or whatever, where he's just like, hey.
I've never been on Tinder, but
it's the same. But he's usually making the first move, and he says "hey" or "hi." You wouldn't like that either. So hi.
But I'm the girl, Brian.
Okay, so you go hi, and then he says hi. Then where are you? Hi.
Yes.
Then
so hi. Then I say yes.
Hola.
I just say yes.
What? Okay. See.
Because
when
that
does
is
the
very
Spanish
low.
kick
No,
in?
but you know what? Listen. Okay. So if I say hi and he says hi and that's all he says, that's low investment on his part. And that's not a guy I want. So I might respond yes.
Can I read your profile right here on the show?
You want to?
We're going to do a forensic analysis
nice.
of your dating profile here. It's really nice. You're very flattered.
I love my profile.
I want your Bumble.
You want to? Well, I'll show you the
because the match is too complicated to read on the air. So she's pulling the stuff. I have to stall time.
I have premium.
I have to fill, as they say. Premium means what? You can date people in other cities?
Oh, no, it's just
what does premium do?
That you
but,
pay.
But what do you pay? What are you getting for paying?
I thought it was the only option.
Oh,
you just get
I think you get unlimited swipes.
Okay.
And you get to see. So pull it up. So she's pulling up her Bumble here.
Okay. Look at my picture. It's really nice. I keep adding pictures. I love my little.
Yeah, it's a good picture. Good.
Okay, so you scroll a little bit up.
Her fake name is Mira.
Mira, which means look.
Okay, about me. I feel inspired to meet a caring man who appreciates spending time together, laughing, and being silly. Someone who is peaceful, generous, and likes to walk holding hands. I enjoy meeting maybe for coffee, tea, or just walking. I wish for a relationship that grows, is warm, offers stability, and is fun. Okay. Pretty good. Can I give you a couple tips on this?
Sure, Brian.
First of all, it sounds like something a really white person would write. There's not a whole lot of personality in there. I enjoy meeting maybe for coffee, tea, or just walking. Sounds like it's going to take us a long time to get to the fun stuff. Because I appreciate spending time being silly. Let's meet for a coffee. No,
it's going to take us a long time. To what?
To get to the fun stuff. Because this is like, I know you can't, because of your ethnicity, you can't be like, let's meet for tequila.
Okay.
But you could be like, love to get a martini. There has to be something that is fun and silly. Like, I'd love to meet and go to the circus or something. But the coffee and tea is boring. Let's get an ice cream and lick stuff.
Well, you know what?
But it's pretty good. And the
you know why
good.
you think it's boring? Because you didn't scroll down to my pictures. I look amazing.
Right, I know.
Look at these pictures. Pictures sell. Look at this one.
Yeah, it's good. It looks sultry. It doesn't look like somebody who's getting coffee. Yeah.
And then I also put with different hair.
Oh, yeah, multiple hairstyles.
Yeah, multiple.
See, that says to me multiple personalities.
Look at this
Could
one.
be good or bad. Yeah.
Nice.
How many days a week is your hair straight? Can I ask that? Is that too personal?
No. It's it just depends. Like right now, it's kind of straight.
But do you have to do your default is curly? We're in South Florida, so it's tough.
I think so. It's curly. Yeah.
Okay.
It just depends how many shows and whatever I'm doing or whatever. I don't know. And how I wake up and I'm like, today is gonna be a curly day.
Do you dress to be attractive on the stage, or you do dress less? What do you play it up, or you don't?
Okay. So in my normal life, I show a lot of leg.
In my normal life, okay. On the stage, that's harder.
But on stage, I don't.
Right.
On
you can't
stage,
wear the short skirt.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah.
All right. In the interest of time, this is your first time on the podcast, so we play something called Worst Date or First Date. So you either have to give us the absolute worst date you've ever had, and I don't count the armpit man as the worst.
No,
I think it was
I used my word. That was the worst.
That's not that bad. So the worst date or the best date you've ever had, your choice.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the worst. That was just weird.
Oh, Brian.
Worst or first? No, I don't give any prep. That's like saying, no, there's no prep around here.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It'd be a good first date too. It doesn't all have to be bad.
A good first date.
Brian,
I've been very lucky. You guys treat me really nicely.
Okay, then let's hear one where you think the guy treated you very nicely.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to talk again about armpit guy.
Okay.
Okay, so
comes full circle.
So yeah, it comes full circle. Okay. So he called me and he said, that actually didn't happen on first date. It happened on second date. Oh. And that second date is when he said the armpit. But before he said that,
he was very gentlemanly about his
He was very gentleman. So he called me and he said, "Oh my gosh, I have the most amazing date planned." And I said, "What? Hot air balloon?"
Oh.
And I just said that and he's like, Oh no, now my idea sounds so terrible.
Put that in there instead of the coffee and the tea. Let's write a hot air balloon together.
And I was like, oh no, that's like really bad. No, I'm sorry, no. And then, okay, so he took me out to eat. And when we got out, he's like, we're going somewhere. And he was actually going to take me on a hot air balloon.
Oh, he really was?
He was actually.
That's so weird you brought that up. I was a guest on a podcast like a month ago. And somebody said, what is your worst date you could go on?
On a hot air balloon.
That's what I said.
That's what you said. Okay,
that would be my biggest
listen, we
fear.
ended up not going because actually the one that he chose, it was like a Disney one, and I wanted to go into a real one. Like he had a Disney one thing, and I was like, I don't want that.
Hot air balloon is my
We ended up not
biggest
going because it started. So you actually, I have never been.
I would never do it. Oh
but have you? I've never been.
I wouldn't go to hell. I barely go on an airplane.
I want to be kissing the air in a hot air
I'm afraid of heights and those
But I'm
things
glad he didn't take me because then he would have want to smell my armpit.
In the air, though, maybe it smells different at 6,000 feet or something. So he waited to make his move,
After he dropped me off at my car, he said, when he dropped me off, he's like, I would like to smell your armpit.
Did you go out with him again?
No, that was on the second date. So I went on the first date, and on the second date, he said that. Yeah.
And so you never heard from him again?
No, I blocked him. I never.
That he could do worse.
It was shocking to me.
It was shocking. Did you ask any of your friends, like, how common is this? Is this a thing? You write to us out there, great love listeners. You tell us if this is your thing. Maybe we're weirdos. Maybe that's what the kids. Maybe that's what the kids are doing. Yeah. Who knew? Maybe that's the new second base.
So, are you going to say about your date?
I've done this show 400 times. I have said it enough, so you'll have to go back and listen and find out.
Okay, a recent one?
No, it was the one that I did that was the bad date. I did it. I'm trying to think of I'll tell you a podcast I guest on. I had to do this.
Okay.
And my worst date was, I'll quickly tell it because I guess I
some
told
people
300.
didn't hear that.
All right, I told it. So this is about, 10 years ago. I'm in New York City. We go out to this restaurant, this sort of Asian fusion, nondescript restaurant on the Upper West Side. And she was super hot, and I was a little nervous. I wasn't always this cool. And I'm trying to make eye contact and listen to her while she's babbling about God knows what. I don't know. And I'm eating with I guess it was chopsticks. I don't know. I wasn't that proficient. And I